Hi there. In this video, we will be going ahead with exploring our data frame. Um, I will be going through my top 5 commands, which I use on a regular basis to explore the data frame. Okay. So first steps first, you have to start importing pandas and have called it PD. Using PD, I will be reading a CSV file from a URL, right? This URL, which you see here. I will be posting the link to this Jupyter notebook below this video, so you can, you can copy and paste this URL when you start doing analysis. But I will get a data frame by reading the CSV file from this URL. Okay, that's step number one. Then I can explore the data frame by using the head command. The head command, what it does is, obviously it's a function. You see this open bracket and close bracket, and I can explore my top rows from this data frame. So it's not giving me all the rows. Remember, it's not giving me all the rows. It's giving me top, in this case, 5 rows from my data set. Okay, from my data frame. So I have top 5 rows, and it's giving me an idea of what the columns look like and the values contained in that data frame. Okay. So after I do that, my next command is length data frame. Okay, so what does it do? It gives me the length of this data frame, actual data frame, which you don't see here. This contains 50 rows. Remember this length command, len, not the whole length, but len with data frame passed into it gives me the number of rows I have within the data frame. So that's my second command. The third one, which I use, is actually a variation of the second one. So I'll combine this to be actually the same thing, except the fact that I pass in this attribute. So df.columns tells me to give me the number of number of columns for this data frame. Again, number of columns for the data frame is 6. Let's just do a quick count here. Let's see if the head command actually gave me that many columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Awesome, right? 6 columns. Obviously, the head command did not give me the rows here, but that's the total thing. Now, there's another cool command which you can use, which I use. I don't use the length, but some people use length. I use df.shape, and the first one here is rows, number of columns for 50 rows and 6 columns. Now, the one of the most important commands I run to understand a data frame is the describe. And like the function call, it has a pretty good name. It describes the data frame. It's a little more complex, so I want you to bear with me here. So what it does is it goes ahead and describes columns and it's smart enough to go pick up numbers, in this case total, how much revenue these movies made, the number of movies, average per movie, and the gross. It looks at only the number columns and gives you some summary of what it looks like, right? So the data set I got here was around movies. If you remember, I got a movie data set from a URL. And the describe command, what it does, it gives you counts. For example, I have 50 rows, and it says, hey, you have 50 of these values. Funny thing is, all of them will give me 50 values because I have 50 rows. Total gross, I have 50 values of that. Total number of movies, I have 50 values of that. And I have total values 50 for average per movie and total values 50 for the gross thing. And the reason why it is all these columns or all these rows are populated, it has values and it gives you that number. The other interesting thing which it does, it gives you an average. So if you look at this, take this column for example, number of movies, excuse me, you have the average number of movies each of these actors have acted in. So, there are 44. Tom Hanks has 44. Robert Downey has 53, but gives you an average number of movies, right? Now, it also gives you how much average these actors have made. It's close to $100 million, right? $93 million per movie, and that's an average number. Mean is an average. There's another thing called median. We don't have to talk about that right now, but mean is literally an average. How much have these movies grossed? So that means how much revenue has these movies brought in? It's around 428, which is approximately close to $500 million, right? So these are pretty heavy hitting movies we have in that list. And the other one I like looking at is max, right? So if you look at the max column here, don't worry about this. Okay, min is also good. So minimum number of movies an actor has acted is a 7 in that list of 50 actors, and average, per movie, the minimum that an actor has made is 39 million. So it's worthwhile being a good Hollywood actor, I guess, right? 39 million for a movie, that's not bad. I guess you have to be the A-list to get that kind of money, 39 million. But let's go back here. Max, interesting number again. Maximum in terms of average per movie is 451 million. So some actor in that list, we will go through that analysis later. Some actor in that list has made a 451 million average per movie. That's a pretty high number, right? Okay, and some actors acted in 79 movies. That's a lot of movies to act in. I mean, that guy has to be pretty old to act in 79 movies, or he's been super, productive in his career. He's acted in a lot of movies. Anyways, that gives you all the commands. A quick summary again, one more time. df.head gives you the top rows, length, len with df in it gives you the number of rows. Len with df.columns gives you number of columns. df.shape, pretty preferable if you want to see together number of rows and number of columns. df describes gives you uh, a nice description of some of the key columns, which are typically numeric columns, and it summarizes for you that data, which is pretty cool. Anyways, I remember to use this lesson as a reference, bookmark it so that you can use it in your data frame analysis in the future. Okay, thank you. Bye.